Hey, what's up, guys? It's Devin here.
Coach here.
What are we getting into today?
None of your beeswax. What's going on, man?
I'm an EDM singer-songwriter.
I am the only in Blair County that I know of elected Democrat in office right now.
But I felt like the world was gonna put a bullseye on my back.
Hey everybody, great to be here. Thank you guys for having me on.
It only took a week to get you here.
No, but I'm here. I'm here.
Stay beautiful. Take care of yourselves.
Have a good night. See ya.
What's going on, guys? Dev here, Coach B. You know who it be. Oh, I got this thing really big for some reason, and I can't see. Help me, Lord Jesus. Thank you. Okay. Anyway, yeah, we're back at it again. Woo woo.
Dev, you are loud as shit today, man. Look, you done got some sleep and some energy and shit.
Yeah,
now you're all...
because like for 4 days I was like sleeping for like 3-hour intervals. I'd get up 3 hours, get up 3 hours, get up 3 hours. Oh yeah, there's our.
what's that?
We wanted to. This is Donald Trump's actual wife, or no, it's his sister.
That's his long lost
It's his long lost sister.
triplet.
Stella. Costella. I don't know what the hell.
She's like a Spanish
Potato farmer.
potato farmer. She looks, dude.
They just look.
Have you ever had one of those?
What?
Like, have you ever seen somebody showed you a picture? Is like, yeah, that could be you.
Looks just like you or something? No, never.
Never. I haven't got one of me. People always say, you look like this person. Nah, I don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the closest I've ever gotten is someone has said you look like that or you sound like that person.
Right.
You don't look like that person. You sound
That
like.
looks right there. Like, I don't know if that's a deep fake. You know, we had that about deep fakes where they could make up something, but that looks pretty damn close to him, yo. Pretty damn close.
Yeah, maybe
Pretty
it
damn
is,
close. Hey, man, he's out there. They're gonna gun for you when you're going that route, bro. They're gonna gun for you.
Yeah. Now, you wanted to talk about Mr. David Stern who passed away.
Oh yeah,
And
man.
I don't know shit about David Stern because I don't watch NBA basketball at all.
Well, he was
really.
like, he was the commissioner from like '84 to 2014. One thing that he did that I thought was great was allowed NBA players to be more themselves. Like, perfect example was like they're killing AI for having cornrows and all of his
Allen Iverson.
yeah, and his tattoos. And he kind of like made it smooth so everybody could have their own identity. It wasn't like, you know how the NFL is like kind of so strict on some things.
Yeah,
NBA
right.
is more laid back, and it's because of him. He accepted like the culture and let people be themselves. And he took away them little ass shorts.
the booty shorts. Yeah.
The John Stocktons and shit. Yo, those motherfuckers was little as shit, bro.
Yeah, listen. Well, no. Here's what I was thinking. Why wouldn't you let the players be themselves?
Because
I mean, it's so. I know what you mean, but it's just so weird because it's just like, especially a player like Allen Iverson.
Right.
If he's on your, who cares? Let him just. He's gonna score like 30, 40 points and some crazy shit and break ankles and snap them. Like, let him wear whatever.
Right. And he's gonna bring him major money, and then the whole thing switched when he came in there. It seemed like he got it. He seemed like if we don't be too strict and let these guys be themselves, bring some of that culture in there. The NBA is the first to like really accept. Like, I mean, if you watch an NBA game on Sunday, all the transitions from commercial is all like old school hip hop. You know what I mean? That's the only, like, you would think. I mean, it's a predominantly hip hop culture sport. You'd think the NFL would fall suit. I think they are now seeing the numbers, and that's why Jay-Z's where he's at. But he spoke out about it. A lot of people, like, you know how it is with your boss, like, especially in that type of billion-dollar business where you got all these, people stuck in their ways. They don't want nothing different. We're paying you this much money. You do what we say. He kind of made it so saying, hey, man, you let these kids be them, man. We can't put them in there. They're out here busting their balls. You're making a lot of fucking money from it. Let's give a little more fairness to it. So everybody respected him as a commissioner. So,
Okay.
So shout out to him.
I was going to say, I wish I knew, I from that, I guess I respect him, but I didn't know him to really know him, whenever I said, I think the name sounded familiar, but maybe it's just because I'm familiar with other Sterns like Howard Stern and stuff. But I'm guessing there's no relation there, right?
No. I don't know. It could be, but I don't know.
David Stern's. Someone look into that. Is David Stern related to Howard Stern?
The Howard Stern. Who knows? We got a facelift, man.
You got
Dev,
a
you
facelift?
look that shit up, man. We got a new facelift. Look, it's got the established. Look, we got established in 2017.
And there's more shit to come too. We're gonna put some bumpers that go down at the bottom that are new and updated. We're going to add in some ad space for some people if they're people out there who want to sponsor us and need some money or need some advertising somewhere for a cheap price or whatever it is at this particular point. That'll be on screen as well. And of course we will have new custom background intros that like we usually do this year. And I don't think we have anything else outside of that that's going to be added to this particular thing. We have guests on, which, by the way, Big Sarge of the Big Sarge Show will be coming on next Monday at around 4:30. We'll be going live, and he'll be talking to us about probably some definitely we're gonna. Luckily, some of this stuff happened because now we got no shortage of topics to hit him with.
Oh,
now.
it's gonna be very interesting, bro. It's gonna be a good. Interaction between some people that have different views on different things, and we're gonna see how it goes. I think this would actually be our first actual challenge in that manner.
Yeah,
to
right.
be honest,
because I don't think the last time we had a challenge like that was probably. Well, I mean, when we had Nolan on, we had a really good in-depth conversation about he tried to challenge us on immigration.
right?
And I think, but outside of that, we haven't really had a lot of conversations where someone's like, we're getting a lot of pushback.
Yeah, and
You know?
he's well spoken. He's got a well ran show over there. Very insightful. So we welcome that. That's what we built this platform for. You know what I mean? To be able to have those tough conversations that need to be had in today's world. So we definitely will go all in and have that conversation, man. For sure. Yeah, I forgot to share too. I'm out of whack too. We're back. We're just getting back, so we're kind of missing out on a few things. So.
Yeah, right. Also, yours truly slept a little late today. Slept in a little bit. Slept in a little bit.
Are you woke now, motherfucker?
Oh yeah, I woke the fuck up, man. I mean, I shot out of, when you texted me, man. I shot out of bed like a rocket. I was like, zoom! I was gone, man.
It was like, oh shit, I forgot.
We got stuff to do. It wasn't even that I forgot. It's like I was so beat and tired. I went to bed and I woke up and I was like, holy hell! It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
I gotta go. I gotta go. But you know how it is. You need that sleep. I mean, that's part of when you're grinding it out. You sometimes forget about you have to be healthy because you don't want to be there when you're about to reach the goal and you just fall out.
And you're just
you gotta go to the hospital.
And you're just not that productive.
Yeah.
Like if you're being honest, like you know what I mean. Like you just want to do what you want to do. You don't want to communicate. You don't want to go because you say things like this. Like if I wanted to go to the gym, you're like, no, I'm too physically. Like I'll get myself sick. I can't go out there and work my butt off and then be in a position where I can't do anything. Or you say I'm not in the mood to talk to anybody. I don't look right. Like how like chicks say like, oh, I don't have my makeup and stuff on and everything else. It's kind of like how I feel where I'm like, oh man, I can't go out, man. People are gonna think I'm insane looking. So you just like stay to your office. So it kind of like restricts your movement, I think, and what you're trying to do. So yeah, that's actually, we're gonna get into New Year's resolutions, and that's kind of mine. Is I just want to stabilize my life this New Year.
Stabilize it, like
Right.
clear,
like
get you
that's
focused.
that's not stabilized. That's like break down the door. Like that's not stable. I mean,
That's my stabilizer.
yeah. My stable would just be like it's just like a regular source of income, doing what I'm doing. Being able to go to bed every night at your own bed and not feel like oh God, am I gonna have to sleep some? We don't need to get into all my personal life stuff, but just that I want things to be stable, get back to my health, like get my health back where it was, my physical form, everything. I just want to get back to where I was and just be in a nice stable place by the end of next year.
So that was your resolution
Yeah,
this year?
because I really thought about it. I thought I wanted more to lean with like the business and the company and what's going on, but that's more important to me right now this year is making sure it doesn't have to be like 0 to 1 million, which would be nice, but I would like to just be in a spot by the end of this year where I could say, yeah, now I'm comfortable. Like I'm comfortable and I can move. I got a base.
I found out like one of the things that I've been talking about for the last past years with mentors and all that too. And that's one thing that we'll get into that after that. I'll speak a little bit about some of the things that I wanted to do. Then we'll talk about other people's to see where they're at.
Yeah.
Because I've been talking with my mentor about the thing about time management and like and that's part of it too. Like it's like don't run yourself to death time wise and not taking care of yourself and not putting yourself in position. You gotta debrief yourself. You gotta let yourself cool down and then go back and attack it. You just crush it between that time that you're doing it, but go take time for yourself. That's something just more time management is saying when I'm on this mission, I'm staying on this mission, I'm crushing it. I'll have time to do other stuff. I set a time like scheduling and stuff like that. Try to get more disciplined. That's one of the things. I have many things. I know one thing that a lot of people are going to appreciate is I'm going to stop being a dick to people.
You're gonna stop being a dick?
Because I'd be a dick.
Wait, Coach, you were a dick? You've never been a dick, man. What are you talking about?
I mean, to these people right here, though. These people that come, we talk about this a lot, about where we're at and the people around us that just like, hey, they get a bug up their ass one day and they think they want to do something. And to me, I'm just pretty, you know how it is. Fuck you. I don't want nothing to do with you. I kind of like want to crush their spirit. So I'm going to stop doing that and just give them one word of encouragement and then I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to waste my energy.
You know,
on that.
I was thinking about that too because of, hold on one second. Someone left a comment here and I can't read it because I have horrible eyesight. That's on the Kyle. Quick question. Did Dev lose his key yet?
His key.
The key that we made for the house. Remember? Kyle was there.
Shit.
Nah, we still got the key.
He probably did. He probably didn't say nothing. There's probably keys all over Altoona somewhere.
Oh, you can check the key ring, man. I got. Well, wait, no. Where are my keys? Oh, wait, they're right here. And guess what? Both keys are right there, so you can eat a fat one, Kyle. Right there, buddy. Right there. Yeah, but no, those are good New Year's resolutions.
What's up, Kyle? What's yours? Tell us what yours is. What does he say? He says something right there. We need to get a bigger, like
a bigger screen, so we can
just one of the. You can. I think you can get an attachment, a microphone or a magnifying attachment. I seen it on one of those videos that those guys that make movies and read off screen.
Yeah, like a prompter type deal. Yeah. We need to get one because the text is just so small. Oh, yeah. Mike Lars says, I do that, but I learned management from Andy Reid. Oh, no. Not Andy Reid. Get out of here. Andy, yeah, he's great at managing the clock, ain't he?
Yeah, he's great at managing.
Remember that game where he lost to the Titans at halftime?
He's great at managing until it's postseason time.
Yeah, right.
Then it's like, I got to go.
Yeah, right, exactly. So I don't know. I don't know about that. Mike said, wait, Mike, are you a Chiefs fan? Is Mike and Rob or
Nolan?
No, not Brant that we're gonna have Robert Brant that we're gonna have on the show.
Oh, he is a Chiefs. Yeah,
he's a Chiefs fan too. So did we have like 2 back-to-back guests that are Chiefs fans or something?
My godbrother's a Chiefs fan too. I don't know how he's a Chiefs fan. Oh man, from where we're from. There's a lot. They're starting to come out of the woodwork, I guess, because of Mahomes.
Yeah, right. They're just appearing now. They're like shout out to Nolan because I know for a fact he is a Chiefs fan because I've known him since I was like 14. So you know.
So let's talk about people. They say that you have an estimation of you break your resolution in 2 weeks.
Right.
We're in the middle of that. Are you still on your mission, Dad?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you still on your mission?
Because the thing is, with mine, it makes it a little nicer than like maybe like someone who says like I'm gonna lose 30 pounds. It's like it's not a race. You know, it's more like you gotta
make it.
You gotta make sure you take the time and plan those things. And like you said, even with that ties into yours, is that management.
Right. Taking
the management to just manage your time effectively.
Right.
Like run at it something really hard all day. Because you know now that we're in a business, oh man, I will get to your comments. I promise people. I just can't read them right this second. But like I said, is taking that time to take yourself out of a situation. And slow it down, but also go hard because now that I running my own business and everything, you have to take the time to just crush stuff and just go at stuff for like at intervals of 4 hours, hard as can be, and then just sit down for like 30 minutes, take a breather, and then go back in and crush it again for whatever it is you're doing.
And focus is a big part of that because you got to be in there focused. There's a lot of things when you're doing things like this. and running your own business and doing those things that you don't want to do. And if you don't focus on them things, it'll be easy for here. There's a shiny object over there. Now you're over there and you forget you're missing deadlines and bullshit. You know what I mean? To get things done. So focus was another one of mine too. And and I think the reason why people give up in 2 weeks because it wears off like the excitement of them being like, I'm about to change the world.
Yeah.
And nobody around them is that motivated about what your purpose is.
Exactly. And then it just kind of and I noticed that too is people reciprocate the energy. And the thing is like they have this idea for this new resolution because no one reciprocates that energy back to them.
It.
They just feel like who cares because no one cares. And I always go back to this. It always takes one person. It only takes one person to believe in what you're doing.
Right.
If you can get one person who said, because I was watching like I brought Shives in and we were watching Naruto. He'd never seen it before, and I just watched the first episode again, and then like the character, because of his sensei, his teacher, believed in him to do something. That was all he needed to set off the spark for him to go do everything that he set out to do. It only takes one person, and I think that's if someone's in this show right now watching. If I were you, try and be that one person. Like that actually ties into your New Year's resolution about trying not to be a dick. It's just try and be that one person to say, hey, here's what I think. Best of luck to you. I believe in what you're gonna do.
Come back when you're you know what I mean, when you're at that level where I can help you. I see this a lot in football, coaching kids. There's a lot of kids that are in the back. Nobody really. Their mom obviously has to cheer for them. It might be
Mom, yeah.
tell them they're the best in the world, but it might be just one more person outside of who it is, like their girlfriend or your boyfriend, saying, "Hey, you're doing a good job," because sometimes that could be like condescending.
Yeah, right.
To
exactly.
you, where you're just like, man, fuck this shit. Nobody else is saying that. Mom, you have to do that. Or your girlfriend, you have to do that. But if it's that person that's on the outside, if you grind it out, I truly believe you can make changes. I always say this, that people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in 5. If you keep going at that, even if you fuck up, most people fuck up and say, oh, I missed today. Oh, it's over.
It's over. Yeah, exactly. We were just talking about that, the gym thing. Like, people are like, I'm going to go back in the gym. They miss one day of the gym. Forget it. It's
over.
A wash.
It's
Never
over.
Going back. I want to get back to you guys' comments here real quick. Let me see. Nolan Plumley said, hey, now, that's my coach. He's talking about Andy Reid.
Yeah,
and then
fuck up.
Mike said he's an Eagles fan. Okay.
Eagles. You guys. Well, I give you guys a kind of little credit there. I give, you know who I give, all of them for sticking in there. But what I do give the credit to is old man McNown for coming out there. He played a hell of a game. He got beat up a little bit, but he made some plays. He kept him in there, and it was pretty close. But I think they made bad decisions by going for it instead of kicking that field goal and getting it back in the fourth quarter.
Keith, for one of our shows we produced, another podcast, the Armchair Referees. They were saying the same thing. Keith was like, why did you guys do that? Why did you not kick the field goal?
No, you got to kick the field goal then and then put it back on your defense and scheme like that. I didn't understand that either. Take those points, keep time on the clock, and go back there. I seen a lot of poor management coming. Since we're on that, let's talk a little bit about that. Coming from a lot of the coaches this week. Buffalo Bills coach.
Yeah.
Piss poor clock management in that fourth quarter, and they had a chance to end that game. Piss poor decision making and play calling. They try to protect the lead and put it on their defense. I hate when they do that. If you got something, go with it. Make them stop you and punt the ball. Don't just give it back to them. Yeah. I love to see what player now coaching at the Titans did to him. One of his tricks at the end of the game. Milked the clock out, took the penalties, and took like 1:30 off of the clock before he gave it back to the Patriots in the fourth quarter. So you just see a lot of those things. I thought that was great to see one of you, and I know he did. Once he got over being pissed, he probably went back home and said, "That motherfucker got me." I taught him that shit.
Yeah, right. You gotta eat your shit sandwich there, aren't you?
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
Now Kyle, he said his New Year's resolution is this year is to finally start my life, start my life, totally. I've been kind of just going with the flow, but I need to figure out what I want to do with the rest of my life because Lowe's isn't an option. Hey, if you can run a computer, we could use somebody to produce our show. So you just gotta press 4 keys, just so I don't have to do it the whole time while we're on the show, read out comments and stuff.
Well, that's
If you're free on
eventually
Monday.
going to be. I think that's going to be on our goal sheet by try to get it around 6 months where we can have somebody else do this, where we can just pop in here. We're on this roll now. We even got some papers with some topics on
We
it.
got some papers and stuff on it. Yeah.
We're going that route. We're gonna start doing this a little more professional, because how many times have we came up with topics that we're like, we're gonna talk about that, but we
And they never talked about it, yeah. And then we're like shooting the shit. Like we're basically, because there were some times last year where we were just shooting the shit. We showed up and we were like, all right, we don't know what we're talking about
Let's
today.
just turn on
Just turn on the camera.
go for it. But yeah, so that'll be something that we will on a goal. I figure around work at 6 months, because we got to obviously vet somebody and see how, if they're really that committed.
Yeah.
Because either way, when it falls down, we just don't want to put it. If anything falls down, a person has to move on. We got to still know, we did this before. We can always
Yeah,
do
everything
it again.
keeps moving. So let's get into we were talking part positive, but let's get into the hell of the argument here. Nolan said early season favorite was the Titans, and I've been saying it all year. He'll even call the Tannehill show. Hell, even called the Tannehill show. I don't know what the hell that means, but
He's saying he called that was going to happen.
Oh, he
Come
called-
on, Nolan. You
Yeah.
didn't see that.
Yeah.
They started off at 2-4. I guarantee if we go back to your armchair referees, you said something about the time. You wasn't saying that. Stop that shit.
he did on the first episode they ever filmed. He did say that he said, but I think he said something like Tannehill comes back and like wins games for them. But he said that mid-season though. I thought
That's when he started.
yeah.
He started. Nobody's foreseen that was going to happen. I think he did an excellent job. It goes to show. I don't know if I had that conversation with you or somebody else.
What?
But it goes to show you that being in the right position can change your whole shit. Because Tannehill was hurt down in Miami. He didn't have no players. Now you're up here with a decent ball coach, a decent running game, team, defense. Offense, you got the weapons.
Yeah.
You got the weapons. All you have to do is don't fuck up.
Yeah.
Don't do anything stupid. Yeah. He's got a good situation down there. And I'm looking at it now saying, going into it, I said it 2 weeks ago when the Steelers didn't finish off the Bills, fuck the Steelers, hope the Titans get in. They deserve it because they're going to keep balling.
Yeah.
And I think they can make a run.
Because they got an offense and a defense. They got both.
Yes, and they got a running game where they can keep motherfuckers off the field. That comes handy when you got to play somebody like the Kansas City Chiefs. Comes in very handy.
When they got to play someone like the Kansas City Queefs.
The Queefs. Yeah, that's pretty much just touching up on a little football. We've been back. We do that from time to time here with the football. That's like, we just like football.
Oh yeah. And there's people that are in the chat commenting about some football shit.
So we get on
And
it.
he said you don't give up a second rounder if you didn't have plans to use him. That was what he said about Ryan Tannehill. That's what he just commented and said.
You don't give up a second rounder if you don't have plans to use
him
that
he
quarterback.
Because he gave up a second rounder to get Tannehill.
Oh.
So they must have had plans to use him.
Oh yeah, they had plans. That you always have something on the vision board saying and a to-do list to say, hey, Mariota, this is it.
Right.
Even if it was just a sign to say, hey, we're bringing somebody in here, you better light a fire under your ass. It's going to go either way. They were prepared for either side of that scenario.
To take off and do their part.
So, and brings up a question. But before we move on, about one more thing about football, what's going to happen to some of these quarterbacks like a Mariota, Cam Newton? Like, are they going to, I don't know.
I don't know. You know what's weird? I was thinking this. I could see Cam Newton going to Miami. Everybody thinks he's going to go northwest, but I don't think he's going to come out of that weather. I don't think he's going to want to go up to all right, time to come up here in Chicago or whatever. That's what a lot of people are saying is Chicago, or I'm like,
Cam's not a free agent though.
But I think he's going to go away somewhere because you know what I mean.
Right, but if he's not he can, I'm sure he's probably with.
And Miami played to basically make a big move this year. I think maybe Cam Newton could be the player they need to move this year.
It depends on where they're at in the draft. I believe that Flores is coming up from that tree that he wants to stick with what's on the board. I don't know. I can't tell. And I don't know what the owner's only been there for 1 or 2 years. He might, and it seems like he might not have the greatest relationship with Cam, so
Yeah.
he's not going to have a good conversation with him saying, "Hey, can we at least, can you take care of me?" You know what I mean?
And as for Mariota, I have no clue what's going to happen to Mariota.
Or Jameis.
Yeah, Jameis.
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 I call him Jameis.
It's Jameis.
But we'll just see what all that goes. That's what I love about the offseason. Things go on. I think that the NFL is going more towards that to shake shit up like the NBA does. They'll just trade. Motherfuckers will leave and go to a trade and make super team. I think the NFL's leaning towards that. I think because once you see the Steelers do it, the Steelers never do anything like they did with getting Minka Fitzpatrick.
Fitzpatrick, yeah.
Never do that stuff. I think last time they did it was Jerome Bettis. So we don't trade. So I think that it's going to shake up. A lot of things are going to be shaken up this year. A lot of trades. I don't know what's going to happen with Tom Brady.
Yeah, right. I mean, the Patriots. But I mean, the Patriots, they're going to find the mailman who, like, tosses newspapers out his window or whatever, and he's going to be the next starting quarterback for the Patriots, and he's going to lead them to a Super Bowl.
To a Super Bowl. It's a
Yeah.
system.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. All right.
So now we're getting into last week's bombing of Iranian General Qasem Soleimani.
Wow, bro, you better stop for the motherfuckers get on here and
Qasem
bomb us.
Qasem
It's him.
Soleimani.
It's him. It's not me. No, I don't know how to pronounce his
It's
name.
him. He's like it's me. But
It's
hey,
I think it's Qasem Soleimani.
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 Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, and so before we get to that, I want to go and say that the president of Iran said that he doesn't mean death to all of America. He simply means death to all the people in power in America.
The power people, like how I said about when we said when the black culture says white people, we don't mean white people. We mean the power structure of white people that are doing fucking evil shit. That's what he's saying.
No, whenever I say white people, it means like the really fat chick with the pulled up shorts, like at a Walmart somewhere, like where you can see everything and it's just gross. Like that's what I mean, like fucking white people.
Fucking white people. Oh, but anyway, what they were saying was like you just said, what he said. That's what I'm saying. I didn't. They said, hey, people are on there posting, hey, we bombed Iran. I didn't fucking bomb Iran. I was at home asleep. I woke up to that shit. What are you talking about? Dude at 1600 or wherever he was at Mar-a-Lago golfing, he pulled that trigger on that move. So get him.
Get him.
Don't get me.
Anybody else involved? Let them do that.
Right.
Now, let's talk about this. So, of course, they attacked the U.S. embassy in Iraq, and that being said, there needs to be some form of retaliation, I believe, or judgment and everything, and or some kind of action. We had to take action. But the thing is it worth going into over something like that? Is it worth going into a war over? Now, I've seen a lot of times where you'll have something because most wars that have ever been started usually start with a single incident of not really that much significance, except for World War II, where we had Pearl Harbor, which brought our involvement into it, which obviously that was a big deal. I mean, that was this clear, definitive attack on we're coming, and also the way the rest of the world was fighting, it looked like, oh man, like if someone doesn't come in to help put this war to an end, we're all in trouble. Right.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So,
well, I'm listening. I'm just sharing. Sharing.
But anyway, there's the Gulf of Tonkin incident, which was what the catalyst for Vietnam, which was basically rumors, hearsay. World War I started with the, I believe, the sinking of another ship, an attack on another ship. Was it Lusitania or whatever, or I forget what it was. And they blamed it on, those kind of people, and then that led to again our involvement in that. What was the other? I can name several more. Something in Korea, the Korean War. There was but it's always like a small incident that it blows everything out of proportion.
I think it's one of those. Say something else to me. Like if you know what I mean. If me and you're sitting here and you say something, it's to the point where it's like, say one more thing to me, and you could say anything. You could say and I'm gonna punch you in the mouth. That's where it's at. It's like you did all these little things. And then you say, okay, well, you got one more time to say so. You know how that goes.
Yeah, right.
You see those situations. And then somebody says something, and then it turns into it. I think that's where it's at.
Or they're looking for a reason.
That's what I mean. They're looking for...
Or they could even conjure up a reason. I mean, the Gulf of Tonkin thing, I mean, that could all be hearsay. Like the thing that catalyzed the Vietnam War. How is anybody supposed to identify that there was some boat out there, whatever, and then it was attacked and whatever else outside of the people maybe that were there? Because back in those days, the press and media maybe not be on top of their stuff or whatever, and it's easy. It was easy for them then, I think, like to them to make some shit up just to say we're going to war with these people because it was just another excuse to go fight communism over in those states over there, because that was like the
True.
big scare.
True. Hey, you guys like this? Like this? Boop, 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 boop. Smash that like button. Share if you like too. I'm told we're allowed to say that again. So do all that shit. Let people know what we're doing.
SHAEARE it.
We're trying to grow. So yeah, like, do we think this? To me, I think that's what we did is an act of war. Now, if you know, like, there's things been going back and forth through 100+ years, little incidents. That attack on the embassy, I don't know what that came from, but there was those people who attacked it obviously knew there wasn't people there. They were just whatever reason in that happened. I don't know. I don't know why it happened. I don't know what happened, because the pictures that they showed us, if that was our U.S. embassy, we should be worried about what's going on in there, because it looked crazy. It would look like some little hut or something like that. Like there was no money put in to the protection of our people. Now, also, like I said,
Yeah, that was something we did talk about, didn't we? Where we were sitting there like, why aren't there just like 30 armed gunmen
Just,
around
like,
an embassy?
get out of here.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, there's just no one around, like, in case something were to happen.
Like, I wouldn't
It's
want to be
silly.
working. I wouldn't want that job where
Yeah.
I'm just looking out there and you're seeing all
And
these
most-
people in their environment, not knowing what's going on. You don't recognize, and you'd be like, one day they could just come to me and
Yeah.
just say, "We're taking you hostage, buddy."
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense to me. But like I was saying, like, all that stuff's been going on for years. It's been tit for tat. Dude broke it down. I shared it on my page. Check it out. He's from Iran. He was in a concentration camps, or whatever those are called back there. He came to America, made his way, and he told the story of how it's been and how he knows it, how it's been. And if you look on the map, we have
Embassies surrounding
bases all around
Iran.
Iran.
All around Iran.
So you can't, if I was surrounded by enemy all day, everywhere I went, knew they were there, I would be kind of on the defense too. Like, if you guys are at beef, you're always going to be doing something. So I don't sit here, I'm not going to say, obviously we live in America. I mean, if we got to do what we got to do something. They caught that guy doing something to saying, obviously, we know that they're always, if they can find a chance, those extremists are going to take a shot at us.
Right, absolutely.
Now, if that guy, we have proof that guy's been doing that and he has plans, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. Do I think it should have been different? Do I think the way they did it should have been different? Should have maybe, I know our government's divided right now, but they said they didn't even talk with each other about it.
Yeah, right.
Even though they don't have to, but I think I kind of would if I was making that decision, like, because that shit could go left
Yeah, right, exactly.
real quick, or left.
Yeah, left. Left. You gotta like look at your right and left hand, figure out which one's which.
Right.
But to add on to that, so the embassies, it is funny to me, and again, like I'm speaking speculatively here. It's funny to me that we have embassies surrounding all of the Middle Eastern countries, and I'm actually gonna have a discussion with a former classmate of mine and a guy who is I believe is going. I guess he has the means to be a future politician someday, and. When he comes in tomorrow, that's something we're going to talk about is foreign policy. And I was curious because when you have all these embassies surrounding this country, right, and then in the middle is Iran, and we don't have anything there, and then Iran they just got Iran they just found oil reserves and stuff like that.
More oil.
And I think that has something to do with it. And then you have countries like Saudi Arabia where they're kind of like our partner. I think and this is just maybe. Again, speculative, it ties into something else with Saudi Arabia. But I think that Saudi Arabia kind of just saw the writing on the walls, like, oh, America's coming to take all of our natural resources, basically. And they're like, okay. And Saudi's like, we're just going to make a deal. So that's why we're friends with them, I think. I don't know why.
It could be. I remember.
I would have to read more into it.
Yeah.
But I'm saying based off of, like, the circumstances of how events are playing out right now, it really does feel like the Iran has been a part of their plan for a while, but they're the most how would I say?
They're fighting back.
Yeah, so
they're saying.
So they're like, we're gonna surround them. We're gonna get the embassies. We're gonna get the positions there to launch something.
And we're gonna give warning shots.
Yeah.
Every now and then they're gonna give a warning shot. They're gonna make moves, and then this one's getting to the point where it's saying, "Hey, this is your last chance."
Yeah.
To either work it out with us, And plus, something happened over the weekend that never happened in Iran. They raised that red flag over their building. I guess that means in their culture that they're ready for war. They're going to go all out. And like I said, I mean, there's a lot of things that's been going on behind the scenes. These guys been at each other, so I don't get too like people are out here like, yeah, blah 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 blah. Be like, let's not put it in, and then it goes back to those talking points. We should have did this a long time ago. Believe me, if it was in the interest of for it to happen then, they would have did it a long time ago.
They would have did it a long time
There's no moral compass in what they're doing right now. It's all strategic and all been like, this is what we're doing right now. There's a reasoning behind it, and it has nothing to do with what they're telling us, in my eyes.
No, I agree with that, actually, because it just doesn't make any sense. For me, the whole involvement in the Middle East, to me, sometimes really just doesn't make any sense. I mean, because we're not the world police, and people of those countries should have to deal with their problems. We could send aid. We could send whatever it is we got to do, but I don't think we should do that. We shouldn't even send weapons, because that's something that we've done in the past, is sending weapons to the insurgent groups that are fighting against the tyrannical governments of those countries. And then what happens is, whenever they stage the coup and they flip the switch, then they're in power and they're the same as the other tyrannical.
And they're fighting with
and
us with our weapons.
With our weapons, and they're fighting each other. And all it does is just add more issues to the localized areas. So I mean, you can't solve it that way. The only way it can be solved is that these people have to someone someday has to come up and say, we're done fighting over all this shit, and that they need to decide to have a better. And actually, that's happening in a lot of Middle Eastern countries. Like religious extremism in certain areas is declining, which means that if there's no religious extremism, that means you don't have a lot of terrorist attacks or none of that anymore.
Right.
More people are getting wiser to that. There's education is slowly growing as well. LGBTQ rights in certain countries is rising as well. So they're slowly because the thing is, the infrastructure of the country, that's the shitty part. The infrastructure of the country is fucking is bad. It's bad. So whenever you try to make these social right changes, it's hard because
you're making it worse,
because you don't have a comfortable living environment. So it causes people, like, say, if there's not enough food, there's not enough water, there's not enough this, you're fighting for resources constantly within your own country. Well, then, it makes it hard for people to be easygoing and everything else.
Yeah, they're going to do some fucked up shit to one another.
Yeah, exactly.
To one another, like neighbor, like kill thy neighbor type shit. Like, it's survival mode. And in these countries, like, people don't understand. They have, like, I try to look at everything. I believe in humanity first before anything.
Right.
Like, if you're not, to me, it's very simple. Either you're a fucked up person or you're not.
Yeah, right, pretty much.
It's very simple, and I don't care where you're from. If I could be like, hey, how you doing, no matter where you at, and even though if we don't even speak that certain same language, but we can find some kind of connection, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And even learn something. But if you're a dick, we got dicks right here in our country.
Yeah, exactly.
That are doing effed up stuff when does that become terrorism? When does that become? Remember, we had that conversation with Ashley.
Yeah.
About they should say these things that we're doing on our soil by Americans should be called terrorism.
Yeah.
When are we going to go all out with that?
The only reason why they're saying it's not is because they're saying there's no political agenda. But then you have someone like that guy who shot up. We talked about him and we read his manifesto. Dude had a political agenda. He's a terrorist.
Right.
He had a religious political agenda that had aligned with white supremacists. And so on. So, I mean, you have to look at it and say that. You have to say that is an act of terrorism. Right. That's just facts. And that's what I mean is now, if someone doesn't go out with a political agenda, like say they're just some crazy person to go out and end their life, I don't know if that's terrorism, because terrorism is, like I said, has some kind of agenda behind it.
Right.
But some people are just nut shit and just like, I don't want to live anymore, and I don't even, like, they're solipsists almost. Like, they don't even know reality's real.
Right, and there's a school or a church down the street, man, might as well make that my target or whatever like that. Yeah,
just take out these people, because I don't understand how they could have these emotions or feel these things or any sense of purpose. So yeah, that's very well put together in that sense.
Well, yeah, one more thing that I got on that is just I don't want to see anything like to me I think it's like, I get it that they're like, you're trying to, whatever you're trying to do, I don't think it has the best interest of America as a whole. I think it has only interest in a small percentage of rich fucks.
Yeah, right. Because obviously, and it's weird the people that defend it. It's weird to me oh, because we make jokes about like, well, Donald, you go over there, you go do it, you fight, or
We're all
whoever.
the supporters, yeah.
And all the people are like, no, he's fighting for our freedom. I said, our freedom. When has
We're
Iran?
free.
when has Iran come over here and said, no, you can't,
Yeah.
you can't.
We're gonna. You can't play
are-
football on Sunday. Your great American
Yeah.
pastime.
Yeah, exactly. Like
You
they
can't watch that.
Yeah, like when has Iranian ever impeached upon our freedom? Attack the
Never.
embassy? I mean, yeah, that's
That's something
I agree
you
that
have to
needs-
defend. And to me,
You have to defend
it's
it.
defense.
Yeah.
They should have never been even got close to that.
Yeah, exactly. Like we said, where are the men guarding the embassy?
That's why I kind of think that, like you said before, something could just be thrown out there and made up. Like, hey guys, there's got to be people guarding that. Say, hey guys, take off for this weekend. Go call your buddies and say, hey guys, go ahead and attack that embassy. We got shit to do.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and go to attack the embassy, and they think they're making this big tactical thing or whatever.
Right,
And
it's not-
It's nothing. It's nothing. It literally is nothing.
And I think people overlook that can be so sinister. They'll be like, I'm like I always admit, I'm a conspiracy guy. I love this shit. I love pulling layers away from the onion until I see what's going on, or pull the curtain and see who's behind it. Those type of things I like doing, but I know the difference between me saying everything's a conspiracy, everything's this way, but this way. But when it comes to this stuff right there, we do not get privy to all the information why it's being done.
Yeah.
We don't. They're never going to tell you. They're only going to tell you what gets them to get the support for it to happen.
Yeah, and my last thing on it is that I just know that a lot from human nature that we feel we need to benefit in some way or get something out of it. And there's just no way that they're doing the things taken, the whatever's being taken out, the actions being taken, are not for personal gain. There has to be someone, a player within either our government or the corporocracy that is making benefits. They're getting benefits.
Their benefits off of it.
Yes.
And I don't want to see no soldiers coming home. You know, we had that conversation all the
exactly.
time. I respect the fuck out of our soldiers and what they do. But for this unnecessary shit, like this unnecessary, we're gonna have a good conversation when we get Sarge on next week to bring up some of this type topics. So we'll talk about that then. But plus all the innocent people that are gonna die in this process, because they're not fighting on our land. They're going to be fighting on I think it's going to be in Iraq.
Iraq, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the farther. They're not. I don't think they're going to set foot in Iran. I don't think, you know what I mean? They might throw some bombs or something like that, but I don't think we're going to go on the ground in Iran at this particular point. I just don't see it. But we'll just see what happens. I don't want to see no innocent, man, no matter what. A kid is a kid. A kid shouldn't be, put into that. Like dude said. The Valuetainment dude, when he was younger, he remembers all the bombings and all that stuff, and how he ended up in a camp in Germany because of the wars and stuff going on in that region, and it just makes it worse. Because I believe if you're gonna do it, we know we have the power to just do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we could find a tactical way where less people get killed and just overthrow that government and do it. But there's more to it. Like, I don't know.
There's levels to it.
There's levels to it, and I just don't want to see it.
Yeah, well, we'll see how the rest of this plays out. It's still kind of early in this whole conflict. It's kind of just now boiled over, and we'll come back to it here, but maybe not spend as much time because of how rude it is. Unless it's like something crazy, like something happens where like Russia and China somehow got involved, and they're like, oh shit. And then I have to put on my army helmet and say, all right, guys, well, we're done with the show. We gotta go. Well, we're gonna have to. They're gonna draft us.
They ain't drafting me, bro.
Oh yeah, they ain't drafting you. They're drafting me. You just have to do the show.
I'll be like Devil go.
You just have to. Yeah, you're gonna have to get someone new to do the show. You just have to get another.
Nah,
stand-in.
bro, I wouldn't let you go, man. What do you need me to do? You need me to give you some bone? What do they call bone spurs, or whatever the
bone
fuck?
spurs,
Yeah,
just
you want me to break your knees or something?
Yeah, I guess
we'll get you out of it.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't. I think with like some of the things I was medicated for when I was younger, like anxiety things and whatnot, I think they probably wouldn't let me.
They wouldn't give you a gun?
Yeah. Although they might because of because everybody has anxiety nowadays. I was thinking about that.
Everybody has mental health problems.
Yeah, like everybody has. Well, just anxiety as it is. I was medicated for like ADHD with like panic anxiety disorder. So they might be like, nah. But I'm just saying, like in my mind, they do those evaluations, I feel like every person that just said I have anxiety would be like, oh man, we can't take them. So at some point, I feel like in a draft they would just be like, that doesn't work no more.
And do we really think that? I think like, what is like? Do we? I don't even think we need it. There's no way with today's technology and weapons. We don't really need that many. We need more the people on the ground as peace in peacetime.
Yeah, right.
Of course, you need some people on the ground for time, but I think the farther and farther it goes, the less and less we need with technology and the weapons that we really have. Like we just proved it with that drone. Just like, oh, there he is. Boom.
Yeah, right, exactly.
There he goes. He's gone.
That's a scary world to live in, though, where like anybody at any time could just like fly a drone and just be done with you. Like be done with you. Like just
right now. Oh, there he is. Got his phone, pinging his phone. He's in his catalyst space. Let's get him. Boom. Over.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be fucking crazy.
What are they after? What'd we do? We got some secrets.
Yeah, right.
We got some bridging the gap.
You know what it is? We know who started the Australian bushfires. It was Leonardo DiCaprio, everybody.
That's what people were saying.
Leonardo DiCaprio. Then I saw another post where it said he donated like $15 million to like a African safari preserve or something crazy.
Yeah, I seen some weird pictures and a couple videos of fire. They said 500 million animals died.
500 million, yeah.
500 million. That is a lot of animals.
Well, they're saying is it's going to take generations of people for Australia to recover from this.
Wow.
Generations.
So, and I didn't realize Australia until they laid it over the map today, because that was the new thing they were doing. Just to go back to that, they laid Iran and showed how big it was on the United States thing. Like, yeah, we'll crush that. But then it put Australia, showing with the brush fires how big it was. I didn't realize Australia was that big. It's
huge.
Yeah, if you just shift it a little bit, it's just as big as America.
Yeah. And
overlapping into Canada and Mexico too. So I was like, I didn't realize it was that big. So
the whole country's ablaze. Think about that.
The whole country. You seen that overview? Did you see that? The 3D.
Right. Yeah.
That what's his name?
We could pull it up. Yeah, we could pull it up.
Shared. That was crazy. Look at this.
Let me go find it out here real quick. Gotta go to his page quick.
Yeah, that was wow. There it is. Look at that. Those are all the hot spots. That is wild, bro.
Yeah, especially it's kind of crazy how like the southern tip is really burning too. Like that's like that because you have to think about that. That's like really far south. Like that's like borderline getting close to Antarctica. Like that's how. So that's like there's a big preview of fire where it's like really cold
hard.
out. Yeah, exactly. It's really that's like kind of like interesting to me.
Yeah, like look at all that, bro. Just imagine if that like how. Those people are in like hell right now.
Yeah, because it's what was I thinking? Is Sydney on this tip, I believe. So Sydney, Australia, like one of the main cities, or is it in this area? I forget where Sydney is. I'll maybe look that up.
You're asking.
But that's yeah, that's the capital. Yeah, you didn't realize how big it was till today. I was say I'm gonna ask you where the capital is. But Sydney and a lot of the bigger cities and stuff, and they're ablaze.
Look at that, bro. Look how much fire is on that. That is like crazy. Like, how did that start like that, though? That had to be something intentional.
Yeah, like someone tried.
But does Australia go to war? Not really.
No. What I could see is that what I could see is someone had an intent to shake some people up or something or whatever.
And it got out of hand?
Yeah, well. I see a lot of references to biblical stuff. So people were saying some stuff. I don't know if you've seen that in the recent. Have you seen it?
Yeah, you're always going to get no matter what.
And the world will start fire. Blah blah blah. The seas will turn red and all this shit. And and I always go, has anybody ever thought of that this has just been the coincidence throughout all of time, and that's why the because people were reading into it trying to find something, I think, for the end of days thing. But I mean, back then there was rumors of wars and yada 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 and stuff like that.
Exactly.
There's always, you know what? Since I've been alive, there have always been rumors of war. And I'm sure back whenever the fucking the Romans and the fucking medieval times, and even in the 18th century whenever we started the Industrial Revolution, shit like that, there was always talks of wars. There was rumors of wars. It's just, I think, and I'm just saying that to say this, that I think there are always going to be times where things correlate with what's said in that book only because of human nature, and that's how it always is. There's always
you're gonna find some ways to connect things if you read into a lot of things. It's just like they say, like, remember we had a conversation about, I think people do things deliberately on those things just to throw some extra shit on it. Like if you read like Nostradamus,
Yeah, right.
like the stuff that I have a Nostradamus book. I've read a lot of things, and then the timelines that it matches up, it might be off by days, months, and everything. But these are things. So that tells me a lot of the shit is intentional.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Because I don't believe in anybody that can say, "Hey, this is gonna." I just don't believe that.
Yeah, right. You can make a prediction and then make a ballpark range of the time it's going
But
to
it's
happen.
too specific.
But you can't do it specifically. No one, and like I said, that would be, and even if this was something I watched on a Matt Dillahunty show, the Atheist Experience. The guy said that he made predictions about the future, and then Matt says, "Okay," and he said, "Even if you did make predictions of the future, that doesn't mean that like there is some kind of like Christian God or an anti-God. It just means that you're a psychic. You have powers that you don't know how you got them. That's all it means." But well,
I think this though too. When you pulled up that picture, like this is where I get to me where I think something is deliberate there. It's all around the base. It's all around the whole outline of it. So it tells me it. In my mind, game plan and looking at shit saying some people could have been like however many people would have took to conspire to do that and started them at specific points. I could see that happen.
Yeah, and also too the geography of Australia, most of the desert the sandy climate is in the center where fires aren't really going to start. All your fires could start in the more grassy
areas. But how would they are we saying it started and then okay, can't go here, and then spread it all the way around?
No, I'm definitely saying that it started in multiple places.
Yeah, that's what
for certain.
Thinking.
I don't know because it was so dry. You got people in Australia because a buddy of mine in New Zealand, and I could cross-confirm this, tells me that a lot of people in Australia are like are in a weird way kind of like rednecks in the sense they just don't give a shit about nothing sometimes. Like they fight, they get mullets.
They fucking get drunk.
Yeah,
and box kangaroos.
So
and
maybe we're saying like
Jackie Legs. I hope Jackie Legs. Let me stop joking. I
can't
can't joke about this because that's a big fire. It might be. There's a lot of animals dying and shit like that. I hope. I mean, how many people? They said not a lot of people died though, so that's good.
Yeah, not a lot of people died. No, I mean, which a fire. The good thing about fires is it's pretty easy to get away from them. Now, of course, there's some people that couldn't. Unfortunately, they died due to the fire, but. It's kind of easier to get away from fires because you can usually see them, smell them, and you can see especially in fires on a scale such as that where it's like
if it's outdoors,
yeah, you can see the smoke coming before you even if you just look out your window, you'll see the smoke coming before you even see the fire coming over the horizon.
Yeah, it's a tough thing. I hope they get it all. I heard we sent some firefighters over there, so shout out to them going over there doing that job, helping people out. Like I respect all those people that do it. My mother used to be a volunteer EMT, seen a lot of stuff, come home, telling about stories, fires. There was just a fire. Remember, we just said something on the show back home in Erie where some kids burnt up.
Yeah, right.
I was in a fire before when I was younger. Not a great time. If you're trapped in it,
huh?
No, I wouldn't recommend it. It was horrible. So I could just imagine how people over there, a lot of their, just if it's just like their property and stuff getting burned up and not knowing what's going to happen.
Right, because imagine just not having your house and all that. And we're not like FEMA where like they got the fucking, because if you don't have the house insurance, I think about that, man. You ain't got the house insurance. Your house is just burning the fuck up. Where are you going to go?
I don't know. It might be different over Australia. Yeah. Isn't Australia what is Australia? What are they?
What do you mean by Australia?
Like are they like
politically aligning? You mean?
Yeah, like they got to be cool with us. We gave them some land in the transatlantic thing. We gave them some Indian land in the middle, and like one of the Dakotas or some shit that they just took from the Indians and gave it to Australia for whatever reason.
Yeah, Australia just has that, I guess.
So I don't know. That might be our little secret hideout, like where there's bombs and missiles or something. And
we're gonna go talk to Australia and be like, "Hey, Australia,
what's going on?" We got to get somebody on Australia once the fires get calmed down, man. But I just hope everybody out there's safe, man. man.
Yeah,
For
someone
real.
wants it. It's something we're gonna do actually. I think we should reach out to somebody in Australia.
And see if we can get a.
Yeah, and see if we can't get them to come and just talk to us about
Let
how
us
what
know
it
what's
really
going on.
what it really is, because it would mean more. Because we have people posting about Australia and saying all this shit about Australia, like,
Right.
oh, you know, Australia's this, Australia's that, things aren't looking good for Australia, and posting the news articles. But I think what would really speak volumes if we had somebody from Australia come on the show. It
That
doesn't
might
even
be
matter.
that might be our niche, man.
Grabbing-
Just for grabbing people
from
and just
the actual
just
areas.
bringing them in there. Like, let's find somebody in Iran and bring them in here and talk to them. I'm dead serious, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not playing.
Like, grab somebody and just be like, hey, come on the show,
Come
talk.
on in. Let's talk about it. Hey,
Yeah.
And I think that's a great angle to put. So
Just-
lucky there's nobody's listening at this point, so
So-
they didn't hear that idea. We
Yeah,
can
right.
hide that one.
Yeah, we can hide it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Someone, no plot twist. What's his face? The fucking brilliant idiots just popped in, and
Stole. Yeah, Joey
stole-
Buttons.
Joe Button just.
Joey
came.
Buttons stealing ideas. I'm gonna be at that table one day
Yeah,
with
Joe.
you, Joe.
We're gonna ask for that money for all those ideas you took from us, Joe. We're coming. We're gonna be like,
It's-
where's the money, Joe? Where
It's
is it?
coming. Well, that's pretty much all it is.
That's the shit shang shaboodle, ladies and gentlemen. Again, join us next week for Big Sarge coming on the show. We're going to talk about probably a lot of conservative-leaning things and maybe just ask some questions about what he thinks on a multitude of topics that, I guess, pertain to the conservative versus, I don't really consider all of our views liberal, so I guess our viewpoints. And
We're gonna duke it out. It's gonna be fun.
we're
Plus,
going to fight.
yeah, some of you guys, but we need some of you guys to come up there because I know Sarge has a great following that's going to be showing up, and we're probably going to be getting the business. So we're going to need some of you guys in there to help in the chat, to handle some of the conversations that going back, because I think we're going to have some great dialogue to go in that we're going to get some good information out for people, and I think it's going to serve what we do, our purpose, and to show why we do this show.
Right, how
and
we
it's
do.
going to be dope. So
This is how we do
so come
it.
on in. There was one more thing I had. Oh, next week at 4:30. But there was one more fucking thing I couldn't remember what it was. I thought I wrote everything down on
Maybe
this
it was
moment.
the Trump doubleganger thing, but we did that at the beginning.
No, we did that at the beginning, but I think it was just something that came to me while we were
talking, and you
so
missed it.
That's how
Yeah,
it comes.
That's just how it goes, man. Also, too, again, next week we're gonna have the updated viewership thing where we're gonna have the bumpers, and also we're gonna put up ad space for the bumpers and everything. Before the show even starts, we're gonna probably go up for about 5 minutes, and you guys will get some ad space. So if there are any businesses out there or people that just want to advertise something they're doing or a charity, whatever it is,
Music.
yeah, anything. Go ahead and contact us at Mediated Media.
You want us to play your song and review it? We'll do that too at some point in the show, just to crack up and see if it's good or not.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah.
Figure that out. Yeah, whatever. It's whatever. You got brands? You got clothing brands? Shoot them into us. We might wear it.
Look, Coach is already wearing someone's brand right now.
Yeah, the Pennsylvanians from around here. We're all about support. You guys will see this here. We're working with them to get this off the ground. I think it's a great idea. It's already trademarked, so don't try to steal it, guys, because they got all the paperwork.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I will help them sue you.
We can both verify that they have the paperwork. We promise.
We definitely can verify.
Okay. As always, guys, stay beautiful, take care of yourselves, and have a great rest of your night. Happy New Year. See ya.